Well, hello, Paint Can family. Today is going to be an installation video on, you guessed it, the Valkyrie. What's it going to be? Stick around. So what is this install? Well, here it is. We're going to be putting some Eagle lights in that Valkyrie. What we've got here is the 4 signal lights. And the way these are set up, they're just plug and play. They go right in. Like this one here, you can see the tabs are offset a little bit. So those are set up for an 1157. They will be the front ones. And these, they're already amber. Those have an 1156 style plug. So they're going to go in the back. And then we've got these smoke lenses we're going to be putting on as well. This should be a pretty easy install. We also have a flasher here in case we need it, which I already know we're going to need it because the bike does a hyper flash without having LEDs in it. So I'm assuming it's going to hyper flash on us once we get it done, but we will cross that bridge once we get to it. So as I was saying, we've already got the hyper flash going on. These are the stock headlights for now. And that's what the marker is. It's dim. And you got one little hot spot kind of in the middle, but it's dim. It's a little bit better when it flashes, but not that great. So we are going to install these Eagle lights and then we'll see what they look like. So here we go, installing the lights. There's a set screw right on the bottom. We unscrew that out. Like I said, this is not going to be a very difficult install. Take that set screw out. From the bottom, you pull up and out on the lens, that comes right out. Then right here, there's a little reflector that has to come out as well. And make sure you don't lose the gasket that just went flying. We'll set them aside. And see, the prongs are offset. So that is the 1157. It's a dual filament bulb. So let's go get our Eagle light, put that in, and then we'll see what it looks like when it's in. So we're back. And no matter how I do this, I always do it backwards. You're supposed to pay attention to which prong goes in the farthest, but, well, that's not usually the way I operate. We'll get her in there. Just quarter turn, and it goes. Then this just sets in here. See if there's any prongs that it sits against. I'm betting there is. Yep. There's notch out for the bottom. Up there we go. Everything lines right up. Like I said, you got to tip up to take it out. So we'll do the opposite, putting it in. Put the O-ring in here to keep the water out. I'm not sure how good these modules are if they're floating in water. I'm betting not that great. I'll put the top in the clip. The O-ring sometimes will fight you. And you have to work with it a little bit. Put it in. Okay, it's snapped in. On the bottom. Should snap in pretty easily as well. There we are. We are in. Take a little screw. Sometimes these need a little lining up. There we go, I can feel it lining up there. And a few turns later, it is in. I don't know about you, but if we look at this Eagle light, that baby's bright and it's clear on marker, and compared to that for brightness, yeah, no, there's no similarity whatsoever. So like I said, definitely going to hyper flash because it did before. We will fix that with a flasher. But if we look at this here, we got clear light when it is just on marker light, and it flashes. And so on to the other side here. Again, simply take out the screw on the bottom, set that down, pull off from the bottom, the lens rolls right out. Got the gasket O-ring, pull that piece out, set that aside, keep the O-ring, turn the bulb out. This time pay attention, the notch is closer to you. It's on the top here. I'll probably forget that in the next 5 seconds. Notch is closer to you. Put it in, quarter turn, it's in. Just that simple. Remember, the bigger notch was down for where the tab is on the bottom of the lens. So we line that up where that's going to go, and that automatically lines us up with all the rest of these tabs. Put this gasket back in there. There's a hole right here on the top that lines up with the tab on the top of the light. Push up on that bottom tab just a little bit, just like the other one. It's a little tight getting it in, but it's not the end of the world. Well, part of it this time, the gasket came out. So if the gasket wants to fight with you, and the light moved as well, so I'm definitely a DIY, not a professional mechanic by any means. But these things are made so simple for us that anybody can do this job. So don't think, well, I'm not an electrician, or I'm not a mechanic, or I'm not this, or I'm not. You can do it. You definitely can do it. See, it snaps right into place. And again, that single set screw, find the hole. I know my head's in the way. Find that hole, turn that up in. Turn the key on so we can take a look at this. And it's almost like we've got another set of LED headlights. Those things are bright. I am highly, highly impressed with what those lights are capable of. They are awesome. Now let's go down to the back side and we'll do the tail lights. Okay, so we're now back to the rear, to the tail lights. And I checked this ahead of time. Someone along the way put in a Torx bit screw into this light. Don't know why. Maybe they lost the original one, something like that. Really don't know. But this one over here is Phillips. It's probably, honestly, it's probably JIS, but Phillips works just fine. Just like the front. Tip the bottom, on hook. Now this already has LEDs in it. Those are Sylvania. I put in when I changed out the ones in my CB1000 a week or so ago. But they're only just slightly better than the stock originals. So not that impressed at all with the quality of those lights. But when you just go to AutoZone and grab whatever LEDs they have available on the shelf, it's kind of what you get. So that's what I got for it. So with that, we are going to put this one back together quite simply. Remember the top in first, put the bottom in, the gasket stayed right in there. We'll go back with the screw that was in there when we started. Because it worked before, so it'll work now. We'll just have to remember, if I have to take it apart again, that is what's in it for a screw. That one done. And again, these are so simple. Eagle Lights has made this very easy. Plug and play. Just put them, take the old ones out, put the new ones in. Very simple setup. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Once you get the pins in there, simple quarter turn and they're in. But these Honda sockets are not the greatest. But it's also a 25-year-old bike, so it is what it is there. So this gasket wants to move a little bit. So take the gasket out, put the light in, gasket back in around it, and then the lens holds everything in here together and tight once you get the lens in. So kind of got to hold it a little bit on this one by the looks. Again, tab on the bottom, little hole on the top. Get that lined up on the top. It'll line the bottom right up for you. And then just get it just right and it'll go in. And just like the front one, that gave me a little struggle, but no big deal. This one back to, again, a Phillips. And then we'll have this install wrapped right up. We'll check out brightness on this. Again, we don't have tail lights in this. This is signal light only for the rear, and it'll be amber only. And you see, it's hyper flash. But remember, it hyper flashed before this, so nothing's changing on that. We got to change out the flasher, get rid of the hyper flash on that. So that's what the back signal lights look like. You can see this piece up in here. We've got to do something about that because I don't have any tail lights on this without the tour pack. I want to be able to take the tour pack off, and I also want to match these smoke lenses. So we're going to be putting on and retrofitting something that is not meant for a Honda for a tail light. So that video will be coming soon. And then we're going to have to do something different here because I want everything to be smoked out. I love the look of these smoked lenses. And again, on the front here, you wouldn't think two little lenses would change the look of a bike this much, but it sure does. What a difference in looks that is, in my opinion. So that's going to wrap up this install video on the lights here on this 99 Valkyrie Interstate. On a scale of 1 to 10, I don't even think I could give it a 1. It's so simple. One screw on each light. Pop the bulb out, pop the bulb in. Eagle Lights has made an amazing product here. We're going to see how they last over the long run. We'll do some review videos once we get out of winter and back into decent weather. But for right now, the weather is not good here in central New York. And so there's no riding. It's a good time to get this type of stuff done. So a special thank you to Eagle Lights for coming on board and sending these to me. And can't thank you enough for it. So if you're in the market for anything LED, I would ask that you would look at Eagle Lights first because they do make an easy to use, great product. And on top of it all, if you buy anything from Eagle Lights and use the promo code PaintCan57, that's PaintCan57, all caps, they will give you 15% off your entire order. So just put that in. There will be a link down here in the description, but there will also just, if you go online, just Google eaglelights.com and at checkout, enter PaintCan57, and you will get a 15% off your entire order. Thanks again, Eagle Lights, And for those of you who have been around a while here on the Paint Can channel, we would like to thank you for being part of this channel, and let's grow this together. I would ask that you would like, share, subscribe, do all those things that all us YouTubers tell you to do. And until we get together again, God bless and have a great day.